Hey guys, what's going on? This is GG O'Reilly or The Dark Room on Instagram, and I figured I would share my thoughts because we're about a week away from Canon hosting an announcement. It's April 13th, and Canon's going to host one on April 20th. So I figured I'd share my thoughts on one of the things I hope is coming, which is a C100 Mark III. There's been zero leaks and rumors about this, but I still want to talk about what I would love to see in the refresh of Canon's entry-level cinema camera. One, I don't want the price to jump. I'd arguably like the price to drop a little bit. I think I will say this. I think there may be a point to two different body configurations, like a C200 and a C200B. I'd like to see the kind of body-only design for gimbals and stuff like that stay at around 1800 to 2100 maybe. That would be where I'd like that. And then I guess if Canon wants to sell a version with their monitor and all that, I guess you can put that up near $2.5 or $1,000 or so. $2.5 to $3,000, I guess. I don't know how all that would sell, because I feel like people are not super in love with paying almost $500 or $700 for Canon's little monitor when you can put like a nice small HD monitor on it, a nice 7-inch small HD over your Canon's little 3-inch or 4-inch. So let's talk resolution. I want to see 1080p high frame rate, so at least 90, if not 120. And then I want to see 2.5, 2.8K, whatever you want to call it. So some 2560 by 1440p, or the widescreen equivalent of that. I want to see that come in because I get it. You don't necessarily want to cannibalize the C200 and C200B market, which are up at $5,000, but at the same time, I haven't done an image comparison test, but I wouldn't be surprised if the C100 gets out imaged by a EOS R and or RP, and I'm pretty sure the R5 is going to just destroy it. So, but we have seen in some cases, I think it was, sorry about that plane, in some cases, I want to say it was a C100 Mark III, maybe, no, that's right, it was a C500 Mark II. Potato Jet did a comparison between that and the EOS R, and at 1080p the cine camera was a lot cleaner and had a lot better look to it. So while I think clearly resolution isn't everything, I'd like to see a proper 2.5K. I don't think you need to go all the way up to 4K on Canon's entry level, but I do want to see 1080p high frame rate, and I want better granularity in that frame rate. I want to be able to do 24, maybe 12/15 for some weird double speed stuff, maybe. Not sure, but at least 24, 30, 48, 60, 72, and 190, maybe push it up to 100 and 120. If you're wondering why I have some weird intermediates, it's divisible by 24. So 72 is would be 33%, or 33% of 72 is 24. So that would give you a third of the speed versus slow-mos. Kind of the idea. Just so you have the equivalent slow-mo in from that way you have the equivalent slow-mo from like 90 down to 30 without having to do any interpolation frames or weird things like that, like partial frames and stuff. I want to see at least a log, if not a raw. I know Canon's weird on where they put raw versus log. So at least log, if not raw. I still want dual XLR ins with phantom power. I still want SDI and HDMI out. For all I care, Canon can reuse a C200B C200B and C200 body. I think that would actually be kind of a smart idea to reuse, so you can reuse the cages and stuff for that. And everyone, it's pretty common to use a C200B on gimbals. So that would be, at least to me, the body that you could go with an entire new body, or to me you could just reuse the C200 and C200B body. So this is, to me, why I think Canon needs to refresh the C100. It's because it's coming up on 4 or 5 years old on the C100 Mark II. It's a good entry level one, but it's been long since surpassed by cameras like the EOS R, the RP. Especially if you put the RP with the Metabone speed booster, that looks almost white. That has almost no crop. Fujifilm's X-T4, Pocket 4K, Pocket 6K, and Canon hasn't adjusted their prices at all. So like a C200 is still $5,000. A C200B is still $5,000 or $4,500. So Canon either can try and drop prices or bring in new models, and they've been seeming to be willing to bring in new models. So that to me is why I think they should bring a C300, C100 Mark III, not C300. I think it would be it would arguably be probably the best bang for a budget cinema camera Canon's ever offered, and probably a very popular camera, because you could easily upscale to 4K and deliver it to 4K for clients, and given the bit rate that Canon cinema cameras usually record at, especially and with how they look, you wouldn't be able to tell, especially if it got put up on most sites. You're never going to tell on YouTube or anything like that. Thanks. I'll catch you guys in the next one.